Hello everyone, welcome back to Lynn's Homestead. Well, I did some work in the garden this morning after I paid what bills I could pay. Thanks, Bank of America. That hurt. That really hurt. But anyways, enough of that. So, I dug out the grass and the weeds out of half the garden. I'm going to show you that in a minute. Then I went ahead, used the Massey Ferguson gc1723e, my little subcompact tractor, and I dug out the new part of the garden. When I first buried, I forgot to do something. Don't know what I was thinking. Oh, that's right. I didn't want to get beat up by the front tine tiller. Alright, so I got the rear tine tiller. It's ready to go. But there's more work I have to do. So, the number one thing I want to talk about is there was a PhD. There's a professor said, you know, if you want to enrich your soil, clay, add mulch. Lots of mulch. Okay. Now, if you remember one video, I bought a whole trailer load of mulch. Well, I thought I had enough to do both pieces, both part of the gardens. No. It was just barely enough to fill the new part. So, I want to show you what we got and what the soil looks like now compared to what it used to look like then. So here's the garden, like I say, half of it I got cleaned out. I got all the mulch out of it, and I got it on a pile behind me on a tarp. And you see the soil, it's dark, but some unknown reason it's hard as a rock. And I got the board out, I got it alongside the fence over there. And I tell you, I spent the better part of 4 hours just doing this. Now, I got the worst part out. Now, as far as my planter for the strawberries, way back there, some unknown reason, them strawberries failed. I guess it didn't have enough dirt there. But anyways, here is the new part of the garden. Now, you notice how dark the soil is compared to the clay. Now you look at that, and then you look at this. You see the difference? It's a big difference. It actually made it darker. So let me show you with the garden hose on it. It's killing me. What you're going to see is amazing. Now, I got my Harbor Freight garden hose with even a Harbor Freight nozzle. So we're just going to add a little water to this. I want to show you how dark it gets. See how dark it's getting? And I'm just barely putting any water on it. Now, the way the professor said, over time you keep mulching soil, mulching the soil with the mulch. He's not talking about this painted mulch. This is hardwood mulch that I got from the mill. See how dark it is? Now, what I plan on doing, like I say, I gotta finish digging the grass the weeds, and everything else out of the main garden. After I do that, I'm going to till it with that rear tine tiller. I'm going to get out any debris. I want to get it fluffed up. I'm going to dig it down to a little bit below this surface here. Not much, just a little bit. Still quite dusty here in northwest Tennessee. Now down in here I still got some of the mulch. But you see how dark it is. And that's just putting a little bit of water on it. Now, this clay area behind us where I filled in here, now this is pretty much clay. Alright? I'm going to put a little water on this. You see the difference? It's still kind of tannish in color. Same amount of water. Okay. There you have it. Difference in soil. Without mulch, with mulch. I didn't think it was possible to build soil with nutrients just from mulch. Let me show you the soil that I dug out of there. And here it is. You can see where the mulch is on there. So I'm going to hit that with the garden hose and see what that looks like. There's the mulch up there. Broken down pretty good. Just going to do this side because the wind's kind of blowing this way. I mean, it just, you hit the chunk and it pretty much breaks it down. Okay? Now I still got some clay left. See how dark that is? And that's got mulch mixed in it. Or rather, that's what seeped up. So, over here is a clay. Let's hit that with a hose and see what it does. Doesn't look very dark, does it? Still kind of got that reddish look. So, you see clay, dirt with mulch. Now, this down here is the cypress mulch that I dug out of the garden. Now, it was like a reddish, tannish color. This is what's going to go in the garden. See, that already broke down just from it just sitting in the garden. That wasn't the same color I put it in. So, When I dig the rest of it out of the garden, we're going to have, in the end, that type of soil. So I got leaves and stuff. I got to figure out, I'm hoping my rake will get it up. But I'm going to wait until all the leaves come off my trees. And you can see this one tree is really a cool color. I don't know if you can see that from here. Pretty cool color. But anyways, this is what I wanted to show you in the video. I wanted to make rich soil. I kept that promise. I wasn't too sure on how well it'd work. Nobody knew. But that professor, he knew. He said something about, he bought this property in middle Missouri. It's all rock there. He couldn't even dig in the soil. He couldn't do anything. So what he did, he got mulch, got some compost, and he built it on top. And over, I think he said 3 years, he could dig down into that soil 2 feet. 2 feet. He couldn't even dig 3 inches in the soil. So, I'm going to take that knowledge and I'm going to create my own soil. Yes, I did bury it deep. But that's the worst part of the soil. I'm going to be adding nutrients, more nutrients, to this topsoil here that's already dark. I'm going to try to add something, maybe some perlite, something, try to loosen it up. Then, when I get all this tilled, I'm going to put it in layers and I'm going to mix it together. I'm going to add the worm castings. I'm going to add some more like organic peat material. You know, this comes in a block. Or if I can find it in a bag form, I'll do that. And then I'm just going to mix all this nutrients. I'm going to take these leaves that's all over the place. I'm going to spread it in the garden and I'm going to till it. And last but not least, I know you're probably going to laugh at me. I'm going to go to the bait shop and I'm going to get me a bootload of worms. I'm going to dig little holes and I'm going to put the worms in. I'm going to cover them up. They alone will make the soil nice and fertile. Loosen it up. They're just going to just poo all over it, just like new fertilizer. Then, before winter hits, I'm going to cover the whole thing with straw and keep it wet. That alone will get the microbes and everything mixed in there, and this should change how the garden performs next year. So, that's it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you learned something, because I'm all excited about this. I may be broke right now, but that's okay. I still got all this to work with. You have an awesome day. God bless.